Hey everyone, it's Samiya, and today I'm going to be doing my seminar project on Babylon Revisited by F. Scott Fitzgerald. So, to begin, I'm going to talk about the biographical context of the story. Firstly, it's important to note that Fitzgerald was a very well-known author, and he became more popular in today's age than when he was alive. He wrote very much in the Jazz Age, and in Babylon Revisited, he writes in the post-Jazz Age. Another key component is that him and his wife, Zelda, lived in both America and in France in different times of their life. This is important as Babylon Revisited is set in Paris. Moving on, Fitzgerald struggled with alcoholism, and I believe this translates into Babylon Revisited because the main character also struggles with alcoholism and the choices that he's made while under the influence of alcohol. Moving on, we can talk about the historical context of Babylon Revisited, as the story takes place in the time of the Great Depression, when Paris used to be filled with Americans who were described as infallible and wealthy, and they were seen as royalty, when now they are very poor. And some of these Americans who moved to Paris are now moving back to America or are just living paycheck to paycheck in Paris as well. This is an important key thing that you can note, as this allows us to infer what time period this was, and I would say it's around the early 1930s, as when Charlie describes the people in the bar and them not being there, it seems as though this is a new transition, not something that's been happening. Another key thing to note, how I know this is in that time period, is that he mentions Josephine Baker, who was a very popular dancer in that time. Now we can move on to my thoughts and reactions to Babylon Revisited. I really loved Babylon Revisited. I loved the characters and how they introduced this parent-child relationship with Charlie and his daughter, and how Charlie is trying to come back from the mistakes he's made and be a better person and be a better father. As he knows, he has failed at many things, has spent money too frivolously, has partied too much, wasn't the husband he needed to be. Him and his wife pushed each other away. He had a failed marriage, and now he's trying his best not to fail as a father as well. And this really struck a chord with me. I thought it was very touching. And I also like the dynamics between Marion and Charlie, as well as Marion's husband, of they're doing what's best for his daughter and Marion's sister's daughter as well. Now for the interpretations of Babylon Revisited. Babylon Revisited had a lot of different themes in it that were essential, as Babylon Revisited touched on themes of redemption, of coming back from being in this horrible state, being in a sanitarium, drinking so much where you have medical issues, your wife passing away, you try to be a better father and be the best father you can, and to push back from your days of making these mistakes. Also, themes of redemption, themes of regret, of just regret of the things that you've done, the mistakes you've made, leaving your wife out in the cold, and also themes of parent-child relationships. That was the most emotional, as it is something that many can relate to, as they know the feelings that a parent has for their child, that they want to provide for their child and they want to be there. And Charlie has these same ideas, that he wants to be there for his daughter and have his daughter know that he can provide for her and that he can be a part of her life and that she doesn't have to be raised by people who aren't her parents. And he wants to step up and be both parents. And I really like that part of the story as well. Lastly, I really understood how he felt like his daughter was going to be pushed away from him by Marion and the Peters in general, as Marion and Charlie have this back and forth of just clashing. Marion has these feelings for her sister and loves her sister dearly. Her sister has since passed away, and she feels as if Charlie is the reason for that, while Charlie is trying his best to move past that. And as Babylon Revisited goes on, you see how these two different personalities clash to do the best, and they're both going towards the same goal, which is to do the best for the child and to be in the best interest of the child, Honoria. And I really enjoyed that part of it as well. So I hope you enjoy reading Babylon Revisited as much as I did, and I hope you have a great day.